The Anglo-Egyptian War, also known as the Egyptian War of 1882, was a conflict between British forces and the Egyptian army that took place in 1882. The war was a direct consequence of the Arabi Revolt, which had occurred earlier in Egypt, and resulted in the establishment of British colonial rule in the country. The Arabi Revolt had challenged the authority of the Khedive of Egypt, who was supported by British and French interests in the region. As a result, Britain had sent troops to Alexandria to protect British citizens and interests. But tensions continued to rise between British and Egyptian forces. On July 11, 1882, an incident occurred in Alexandria where British officers were attacked by a mob of Egyptian civilians. In response, British forces shelled the city and landed troops, effectively starting the Anglo-Egyptian War. The British forces, commanded by General Sir Garnet Wolseley, quickly defeated the Egyptian army, which was led by Ahmed Urabi, the same leader of the Arabi Revolt. The British captured Cairo on September 14th, and Urabi surrendered soon after. The aftermath of the war was significant for Egypt and the wider region. Britain established a protectorate over Egypt, with the Khedive remaining as a figurehead but real power held by a British-appointed governor. This marked the beginning of British colonial rule in Egypt, which would last until 1952. The war also had wider implications for British foreign policy. It marked a shift towards imperial expansion in the Middle East and North Africa, as Britain recognized the importance of securing control over key strategic areas such as the Suez Canal. The war also demonstrated Britain's willingness to use military force to protect its economic and political interests in the region. The Anglo-Egyptian War was not without controversy, however. The British use of force against the Egyptian civilians in Alexandria was condemned by many, and the war was criticized by some in Britain as a costly and unnecessary intervention in a foreign conflict. In conclusion, the Anglo-Egyptian War was a significant event in the history of Egypt and British imperialism. It marked the establishment of British colonial rule in Egypt and the wider region, and demonstrated Britain's willingness to use military force to protect its interests. The war had lasting implications for the political and economic development of Egypt, and its legacy is still felt in the region today.